So today we're going to learn a bit more about funnels, automation, systems, and where and how we can implement AI into all of it. My name is Evan Baklid. As you can see here, I'll put my contact information in the chat at the end of here. So if you do have any questions or want to reach out to me, I'm more than happy to have a conversation about this. I love efficiency in systems. So if it's just kind of having a chat, seeing how this can work for you and how you want to implement into your business, I'm all ears and I'd love to kind of have that conversation. So really what we'll leave here with today is it's going to be a plug and play funnel blueprint, right? So we're going to understand what is a funnel. How does the idea of creating a funnel in real estate really work? I'm going to show some examples on a complete follow-up automation map. I'm a big believer, but I love GoHighLevel and kind of the customization and automation that you can have in this particular CRM. But everything we're going to learn today, most likely, almost 99%, you can copy and create this in many different CRMs as well. So it'll work across many platforms. Just may look a little bit different on how it kind of feeds into everything. From there, we're going to have a quick little 7-day action plan. Let's get this up and running. Let's get the ideas going. Let's get it flowing. And then so you can start, one, getting things running and systems running your lead generation for you. But then so you can start understanding what's working, what's not working. You can begin tweaking it right away so you can start really getting some results from everything. All right, so agenda, we did a quick introduction. Then we're going to go into, of course, the problem in real estate, currently what's happening and what the old method of lead generation has been, which still works great today. And then funnel architecture, we'll build some offers and some bonuses. We'll dive then into kind of throughout the whole presentation, me kind of opening up the curtains, showing you guys how this has looked for me and currently is working for me. We'll go into automation and then showing some of the follow-up campaigns that we can do. Again, I'll be showing this in GoHighLevel. Majority of it can be happening in other systems and tools as well. And we'll have a little Q&A and then we'll start some next steps from there. Let's talk a little bit about the lead generation, not necessarily problem, but kind of the old method of doing lead generation. One thing that I've noticed as an agent here in Denver is we do a lot of things, right? We are so busy as agents. We need to talk to clients. For example, I needed to find a new TC today. So I've been on phone calls with her all morning today and kind of figuring that out. We need to get listings ready to hit the market. We got to send listings over to buyers. And then we got to push everyone through escrow and kind of staying on top of everything. The first thing to start following on the back burner is unfortunately lead generation and making those contacts that we should be doing. This is the problem in the real estate is when we do get busy, this is what falls behind. And then when it comes 60, 90 days down the road, now our whole business is starting to fall behind because it's always a live measure on the deals that you're getting is the lead generation that you have been doing. So when we're looking at the old methods of lead generating, they work great. If you want business right now, hit the phones, right? So the way I look at this system as well as funnels is it's a 1-2 punch, right? If we want deals right now, let's call expired. Let's call for sale by owners. Let's start doing circle prospecting and really getting people feeded into the database, which we then can use these systems to follow up on those leads that we've identified. But we always want something working on the back end, right? Kind of working and doing that passive lead generation for us. To me, that means creating great offers, getting people to see those offers, and getting people to raise those hands that they want those offers. Right? We'll go into a little bit what those offers are, but the more offers you can make to the market, the more hand raisers and the more people in the database you will be adding so you can properly nurture them and then convert them at a later date, right? So let's kind of go into what is a funnel and kind of the whole architecture around it. It really has 4 key parts, right? We need to attract, we need to capture, we need to nurture, and we need to convert, right? So this is the funnel of finding a stranger, essentially, and then making them a client. So in terms of attraction, I have a few slides on this later, but we're really looking on how can we get people to our landing page. So essentially what a funnel is we have a landing page, we have something that we're looking to give them or something to offer them that they find really interesting and that they need to have right away. We're then going to capture them from that landing page. So that landing page, in terms of a track, you could do this on Facebook if you're running Facebook ads through Facebook forms. It's a very easy, low barrier of entry to capture their information, but we can also do this on landing page with a bit higher intent, I would say, because they are now looking at and getting some information from the landing page instead of just the ad or just the content that you're producing, but they're qualifying themselves that, yes, you know what, I do want this information. From there, we need to nurture these people. Yes, we're still going to be making phone calls. We're still going to be sending text messages, but we always want to stay a bit more top of mind. And the way that we can do that is actually through automation, right? I'm a believer if there's an email that I'm going to send to every single person that's coming through my funnel or every single person that's currently in my database, I don't want to manually send it. Right? Let's come up with the best way and the best message I want to give them and the offer I want to give to them. And then let's automate that. Through that nurture, that's really where the conversion starts, right? I believe I read a study, it takes on a cold lead, I believe it took, I don't know the exact number, but I want to say it was between 12 to 18 touches to actually open up a good conversation where they actually want to, one, they believe they started trusting you and now they actually want to have a conversation with you where they potentially give some personal information, what their plans are, where they're looking to move and things like this, right? So that's our goal with this funnel is we want to open up more conversations and then those conversations ultimately lead to more. So let's kind of talk about some core offers that we can do as agents. So when we're looking at, let's say, a buyer funnel, right? The idea and intent is we want to get buyers. We want to get buyer clients and buyer conversations. One thing I would really suggest here is to actually use AI to come up with who are we talking to, right? I was actually part of a class that Jared taught, and I believe he has the recording of this as well. So if you'd like to get a hand of that, send me an email or reach out. We can share that with you. But Jared taught a great class on how to use ChatGPT to create and really find who are you talking to? Who is your ideal client profile, right? This is the most important aspect of creating a funnel when it comes to buyers, sellers, relocation buyers as well, is we can't be talking to the whole entire market, right? If I'm talking to all of Denver, it won't hit with anyone in Denver. We need to be talking to a very specific group of people because they need to know that we're talking their language. So one great, lead magnet idea or funnel is talking to first-time home buyers, right? So one thing that we can be offering them, hey, here, I have the best first-time home buyer roadmap, everything that you need to know to buy your first house. And the way that we deliver this lead magnet, you can create this in an ebook that you can share in a PDF, something like that. But even if you want to dive a little deeper and spend some of your time to really get to know some of these first-time home buyers, I would highly recommend doing a webinar like this, for example, where you get to see people's faces, where people get to see you a little bit face-to-face at least. And because now you're building that trust instead of just sending them over something right away. So if you want to really do that, I would recommend doing a webinar or something where they can interact with you. As well as on buyer funnels, listing alerts, they always work, as well as check out this new listing or price reduction or new to the neighborhood, right? These will always get clicks onto your landing page where we kind of spark their curiosity because now, yes, they are looking at homes. They are interested in understanding more about homes. So you already know that about them. There's a few others here, down payment guide, school and commute planner. This is where I really encourage you to use ChatGPT to also come up with what would be some good lead magnet ideas and some good things that I could offer first-time buyers. So kind of the action step here is understand who you're talking to, and then also what are they interested in and what are their pain points right now. Right? As a first-time home buyer, what are you nervous for? You don't understand the home buying process, right? and let's educate that so we can beat that pain point. And so, we can kind of have that conversation and ultimately help them as potential clients down the line. So seller funnels, what I'm going to show you guys today is something that has been working in many, many different industries. Is actually a cash offer funnel. People think that this is just for homes that are under a certain price point, but no, you'd be surprised. It's for $1 million listings. It's for everyone in the market. Everyone's interested in their home value, right? So as you can see, that is also a great funnel and lead magnet to offer. But people are curious what they can get for their house right now, right? Many people are in different situations. Are they looking to relocate and they need to move in the next month? They don't have time to hit the market. Potentially they've had bad experience with real estate agents and they don't want to put it on the market. They don't want to deal with the stress of having showings and having people come through their house, right? But what really sparks it is that curiosity. And especially with cash offers, what we're looking to do is, of course, we're going to give them a good cash offer. We're going to find and talk with our network and our partners, what will you offer for this house? But what's really important is we're starting a conversation with homeowners, right? We need to understand their situation better. What's going on? Is it a timing thing? Are you looking to get the most out of your house? And from there, we can start leading that conversation into the different options that they have, right? And always present, if you were to list on the market, this is how it would look, right? So now they have the options. Now they get to decide if they want the cash offer, if they want to stay exactly where they are, if they want to list their house on the market, and how it would look like for you to list their house for them, right? It's a very not easy sell. We're not easy selling anything, but it's a very personal way to let them choose what's best for them. And that's what's really important in real estate is we are working with people at the end of the day. It's not B2B, it's B2C. So we really need to treat it with a human approach to it. A few other funnels, as you can see, home pre-checklist, right? What do you need to do on your house before you list your house to get the most for your house? 14-day sale plan, how to sell your house in 14 days. Neighborhood price point, giving more information on the neighborhood. That's more specifically targeting. Relocation funnels are also extremely good. Nate can kind of attest to this in the social media world, is when you are speaking with relocation buyers, they want to learn as much as they can about the neighborhood as well as the city they're moving to. Where do we go? We go to social media. We start consuming content. I go to YouTube, even if I'm just visiting a place, and I start looking up where to eat, where to live, what our houses looking like. And this is what people do when coming into our neighborhoods. So giving them something of value, giving them something of, educational value as well, moving to Denver guide, this will really help them understand where they're looking to go, start trusting you, and then offering yourself as questions as a guide to move to this city. Great way to connect with people right away, as well as kind of getting the relocation conversations flowing into your business. So a few different ways of getting traffic into your landing pages. I'll show you guys some landing pages here in a little bit. I think that's in a few next slides. There's a few different ways. So you have paid media, you have Facebook, as well as Instagram. So that's all under the umbrella. You have Google traffic ads, so Google search ads. You can do YouTube, as well as many different short form placements on, again, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, as well as TikTok. The idea here is we're paying to get traffic to the landing page. So it is a pay to play strategy, but it is also a guaranteed way for you to get traffic onto your landing page and then get people into your database. Just track your spend on Meta, Google, and all these different platforms. Find where you're getting the best conversion. And then, of course, start realizing and looking at the return on your ad spend. So ROAS is a really important part of it. We're not going to dive so deep into this today, but if you're able to get 10 plus X on your money to get a real estate deal, that is definitely something I would do personally to kind of get that deal flowing into me. There's organic ways, a YouTube channel, Instagram, of course, more on social media. Google Business Profile has been really big, where you do kind of relate more on that search and on that SEO basis and through your website as well. But you would be shocked producing content. You will get conversations started there. You will get likes, you will get comments, you will get DMs flowing into you to kind of simply answer the questions, but you're also building a lot of credibility. So even if you're posting something right now and people aren't ready to move, they start following you because there's something in the back of their mind, right? They like you as a person, and they know if something were to happen, I'm going to call Nate to work with him. Kind of when it comes down the road. Retargeting plan. This is a great idea, is because the more traffic you're getting to your landing page, as long as you're using a pixel, a metal pixel, or a tag, you will be able to retarget these people with paid ad spend. So I would actually put majority of my paid ad budget into retargeting, because the more people see you and the more people see your organic content, the more they're going to like, trust you, and then ultimately remember, one, who you are and why they should reach out to you. Tech stack and setup. So obviously we need a page and funnel builder. We need a CRM with a good pipeline and automation capabilities, as well as in that CRM or separately, a place to create a form, as well as a link to a calendar. You need a phone, call and text, and then of course that pixel for the conversion track. So let's go into some landing pages. So page structure. What's important? The most important thing on your landing page is to have a very specific targeted headline, right? We're talking to one audience with one problem. We don't want to be talking to buyers and sellers and solving everyone's issue through one landing page, because now you're not talking to anyone. You're not talking to the pain points they're currently feeling, right? Let's talk to first-time home buyers looking to move from downtown Denver to the suburbs, right? That's a very niche specific target. If I'm on social media and I see that and this is something that's been on my mind, you're gonna click it because it's speaking to you, right? So the more niche and the more targeted you can be on your headline as well as your problem, the pain point you're solving, the higher converting landing pages you're going to have. Also on that, you want to have one clear offer and one single call to action. We don't want to say, hey, grab this lead magnet, grab this lead magnet here, book a meeting with me. And then also, if you want to follow me on social media, feel free to click it here. You're asking too much and it's unclear what the step they should be doing on this landing page. Have one clear offer, one clear thing that you want them to do. The only caveat to this is it is really good and beneficial to offer bonuses, right? A little bonus offer. Come join my webinar and I can promise you to get the top 25 things that you need to properly sell your house, right? That's a great bonus offer. So that's kind of the secondary things that we can do. We also need trust block. So this is showcasing recent wins, some Google reviews and how it was working with you. And then also further down, I do like using frequently asked questions, an FAQ block. So all the way at the bottom of the page, if they made it down there, there's a reason they made it down there, right? They've read all of the things, but they might still have a few questions about what is the webinar? What am I going to get? Should I actually spend my time to go and do this? So this is kind of the area that you want to tackle those concerns, essentially, I guess. So let's see here. So here's a cash offer landing page that I have been running. You have a very clear, simple landing page. The simpler it is, the better it's going to convert. I'll be completely honest. The less words you use and the less things happening, the less confused the people coming to this landing page will be. So get instant cash offers on your home today. Very simple. You know exactly what you're getting and when you're getting it. And then explore your home's value and get multiple instant offers tailored to fit your needs, right? So that's kind of the subheading that you can use to kind of further explain a little bit. What's the call to action? What's your address, right? Put your address in right here and I will get you and kind of send those cash offers over to you. Super simple. You also, one kind of pro tip with landing pages, you want to keep this as high up on the page as possible because we live in a mobile first world, right? So if I see a headline and that takes up the whole entire page on my screen, on my phone, you're not getting to what your call to action is. They're not actually going to scroll. They might just simply click off and kind of go about their day and do something else. So keep it as short as possible, keep it as high as possible up in the landing page, because you want this whole entire thing to be seen easily on your phone screen. Because if they still have questions, they're going to scroll down, right? These blocks here are great, how it works, because you start tackling one of the questions that they are guaranteed to answer, right? What does this mean? How does it work? We make it easy to sell your home, no showings, no repair, just fair cash offers for your property. Great, that explains it. Submit your address, get multiple offers, choose your offer. Simple as that. I'm not saying you're going to meet with Evan, we're going to have a whole consultation, we're going to do this. No, we'll offer that as a secondary offer on the next landing page, on the next accepting page. And we're also going to further offer that when we have communications with them, right? We want them to opt in to want to speak with you, because now you're taking an outbound or, a cold lead reaching out to you, essentially raising their hand and then asking you for help instead of us offering and kind of pushing it on them when they're not ready. Here you can see a little bit more, we're tackling those main pain points that we're looking that they may have, why homeowners love our cash offers. You kind of start seeing here, hey, this is what other people are enjoying and liking about this. Why choose us, right? That's also most likely a question that they're going to have when it comes to it. And kind of having these clearly written bullet points is really easy because people don't like to read everything on the landing page. People want to scan it really easily to understand what they're actually getting. And then down here, we have that frequently asked questions. So they get to kind of choose, yep, I did have all of these questions. I want to learn a little bit more. And it's as simple as that, right? Clear headline, clear call to action, a overly large, impact of, it's large impact, but overly done landing page. Yes, Freddie.
Just wondering, this looks very clean and neat, Evan, but I don't see your information anywhere. Is that by design? Like it's not like okay.
That is absolutely by design. So you have some of my information down here because at this point of the process, people don't care about me. People don't care who I am, right? So I don't necessarily want to sell myself because I'm not offering my services right here. This changes, of course, based on the landing page, ready? So I'll show you guys a seller landing page here in a little bit where we do have agent information for it. But here you can see how simple this ad really is. The homeowners across Denver are getting multiple cash offers less than they offer higher than expected. See how much you can get for your home today with no showings or repairs. Compare real offers in minutes. There's nothing really here mentioning or talking much about me. And here you can kind of see the actual part of it, right? So in this one, it is more beneficial to not have my information on it. But if we look here, for example, so this is one that Blue Pebble Homes. So for everyone in Blue Pebble, I work with Jamar, our AI, our VA team. So he created this for us. So we are actually, one thing that we're going to give away today is if you have a GoHighLevel account, we can upload this directly into your account. So you can actually start using this as soon as you want after this meeting. But here you can see very clear headline, what you're getting and how to get it, right? All of the up top. So it follows the same structure. As soon as you click it, it brings you right down where you fill out your information, as well as tackling a little bit about what you're actually going to get. No cost, no pressure, just real practical advice for Denver homeowners, right? This landing page is also very optimized because you can see the amount of get my free seller guide or throughout this page. We want to be able to capture them as soon as they feel they're ready to do it. And this is different for everyone. It might be right here. Some people might be what you'll learn inside of this free guide and kind of scan through this. Yep, you know what, I'm ready. We want to have that ready, easy to click. We don't want them to be scrolling up and down and wasting their time. And now they're confused and they click off. Landing page visits, they are very, I would say, finicky, right? Like even if one word is a little bit off, a landing page might not convert as well as it actually could be. So we want to reduce the friction for them to get our offer that we're looking to send over to them. Here's the full area, and then we kind of tackle a little bit more conversations down here. So Freddie, here you can see we have a little bit about the agent, but is not much about the agent. That's not who we're selling. What we're selling to their pain point and what they're looking to solve. So that needs to be the focus of the landing page. I don't want myself to be the focus of this landing page because I'm not advertising myself in this setting. I'm advertising the pain point they're having as well as the offer on how I can solve that pain point. All right, so that was quite a bit. Any questions kind of about the structure of landing pages, why it's this way and why it's optimized? I'll take it. Yeah.
I've been looking at this one versus the cash offers. So this one's landing in GoHighLevel. Like you can apply this one, and then the cash offer one was in Living a Dream.
Yeah.
So
yeah, this one's not necessarily on the website. This one's a different kind of product that I purchased for this kind of specific cash offer. So this is just a different tool that I'm using. They had these landing pages which were already optimized and created. So instead of duplicating, creating it myself, I just kind of kept it as it is. All of this one, as well as this one, they all connect into your CRM automatically. So they all funnel into the same area.
Okay, but the cash offers, and I was wondering how you get cash offers in 24 hours. That's actually a product that you subscribe to that
Correct.
will provide cash offers to this address.
Yep. So as soon as you put in the location here, it pops up. We have the cash offers. It gives them a range. And then it says, do you want, unlock your cash offers right now? You'll have it sent over to you. And that's where we ask for their name, email, and phone number. Because when we're asking on the main landing page, you don't want to ask for too much either. We want to have a very small, simple ask because now people are going to do it. If I'm asking for, hey, tell me your whole entire life story, tell me why you're on this landing page, what you're doing, why you're moving to Denver, I'm not going to take the time to write all that out. And so you want to make the ask as small as possible and then kind of push them along into the further along in the funnel. Forms and fields, we kind of talked about that and showed it in the landing page there. Again, as you can see, ask for as little as possible, but ask for what you need, right? So first name, last name, email and phone number. Everyone asks for that in any aspect of their life as they're clicking through things. So that's a pretty simple ask, even though you're asking for 4 items. And then AI in every step, right? We talked a little bit about this, is really doing the research with AI. This is probably the most important part of all of these funnels and what we're doing here is really understanding who are we talking to and what are their pain points. I like using AI for that. We'll gladly share how we have done that in the past, but really use ChatGPT because it's one, incredibly smart, and keep asking more and more questions and have it ask you what you're looking to kind of communicate and who you're looking to talk to, so it can come up with that ideal client profile. AI for creative and copy. So this is really using AI to optimize these different landing pages. So one thing that I always want to encourage is we need to have A and B testing. So we want to test if I remove this sentence, if I remove this word, does that impact my conversions, right? Do small different A/B testing the whole time, find the best version, and then test another version. Is it a completely different new headline, or is it just something small throughout the landing page that's actually converting better? So we can start as well as we want, but we always have to keep A/B testing and keep trying to create something that's optimized for our specific offer and our specific target. We'll kind of go into a little bit more about conversations with AI. Nate is currently working on this. The basic version of that is work on what you are sending back, right? So I would recommend having AI do the first pass of it. And then you do have to sit down and make sure it's written like how you want it. And that you're communicating the way that you would communicate with your clients and that it doesn't feel so robotic. Coming up with different offers, different things that you want to say in your email and your texting, follow up. AI is great to give you those different options and kind of different routes that you want to explore through it. Golden rule when it comes to follow up, we'll go into a bit now, is speed to lead. That is the most important thing when it comes to follow-up. This has to be under 5 minutes. So under 5 minutes, you need to send a text message or a phone call or an email. Email is a little bit less impactful. So phone call is ideal. Phone call would be best. However, we are busy, as I mentioned, and it's hard to hit that under 5 minutes sometimes. Unless I'm at my desk doing follow-up specific task or kind of lead generation task, I may be out in the field. I also may be having lunch with a industry partner. And I still want to know that my system is at least following up within that 5 minutes.
Hey, Evan, 2 quick questions for you.
Yeah.
How do you handle that if someone signs up on your landing page at 2 a.m.?
Yep. It's good question. It's still better to follow up. Yes, they do understand it's automated, but at least you give them their opportunity to reply to you, right? Because let's say it's 2 a.m., they sign up on the landing page and they don't hear from you until 11 a.m. The next day. One, if they're up at 2 a.m., they're probably sleeping at that time at 11 a.m. And two, they probably even forgot what they signed up for and was looking to get. So it's going to take a lot longer for them to, at that point, even reply or even want to reply. But as long as you're sending that automated text message and automated email, you're giving them, one, opening up a path of communication, but you're giving them an opportunity to be like, hey, you know what, this is actually what I want.
Cool. And then I've been reading some stuff that the 5-minute speed to lead is becoming less important as people become aware of these automated text messages which go out, say, a minute or two after the fact. Do you have any thoughts? Have you seen anything about like waiting, closer to 10 or 15 or other, like trying to make it seem more like a natural response flow?
Yeah, I would personally still keep it under 5 minutes. You would be shocked the amount of people who, one, isn't aware of automation still, and as well as just, after 15 minutes, I don't have the kind of stats and research up right here, but it still drops off. And I remember reading one where it compared from 2000 to 2010 and then 2010 to 20 and then from 20 to now. It's really not that big of a difference. That, the faster you are getting to these leads and communicating and talking with them while they are still thinking about it and filling out these forms and asking for communication, you do have a much higher response rate. For me, until that's completely proven wrong, I'm going to keep doing it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so here we have a little bit. So I'm going to go into my GoHighLevel. Let me put you guys over here. So if I'm looking over here, I'm not ignoring you guys. That's just where you guys are right now. So here you can see, all right, let's go over to automations. So this is really what I'm currently doing is automating this cash offer request, right? So as soon as someone follows up or hits that landing page and says, hey, I have an address, and they do want to unlock all of them, they're going to get tagged by the system as well as in GoHighLevel. As soon as they fill this out, they will be tagged in the system. And there's ways in the landing page setup and GoHighLevel that you can choose what tag that you're looking to do when they do fill out forms. We're not going to dive into that, but you do want to tag to trigger what's going to happen next, right? So Jared, here you go. Like in GoHighLevel, you can set how long of a difference you want to wait. I don't like waiting exactly 5 minutes or 10 minutes, right? I want to wait 2 minutes, and then the system automatically sends the first text message that's a follow-up, right? When you are writing these follow-ups, it's really important to think the way that you want to write follow-ups. So here, yes, it can be good to use ChatGPT to give you some ideas and kind of work towards it, but you really do want to use your own language, right? I have a little waving emoji. Evan here just saw your cash offer request come through. When's a good time for us to go through it together? Very simple, not many words, and also very clear call to action or kind of request that I'm asking them. I'm not asking them for X, Y, and Z too much. It's just, hey, when should we quickly chat about this? If they reply,
yep. Does that come out of your phone number or GoHighLevel phone number? In other words, if they respond to that, do you get it on your phone?
It comes in through GoHighLevel again. So it all lives in your GoHighLevel account. So you do need to be sending text messages. You do need to have your own phone number here. Super cheap. I think it's like $2 to purchase it. And then there's just a couple minor cents or something to send a message. So barely anything. I use that phone number as the prospecting phone number, not my client phone number. So when they are working with me, we're going to be communicating through a different message, right? So here you can see Debbie and I, we had a great conversation, right? Made it right away. Business name, I'm with this. And then she actually called me right away. So she called me, we had a great conversation, and we actually booked a home walkthrough consultation at that time. Something came up, and we're actually going to connect again in January, right? But here you can see how important that feed to lead really is, because I gave her an opportunity to reply and speak with me. And all of the communication, as well as emails and everything, one lives here. And then you get to nurture and kind of talk through everything. Here you can see, here's one of our automated invitations, our newsletter, and she did open it, right? So great. Now I actually gave her a small little offer, a small little nudge within the system on a cold lead who I'm going to talk more with in January, February time. So all communication lives here in GoHighLevel, Freddie. And as you can see, if you scroll down a little bit, here's really where you're going to see these different tags. These tags is what launches these automations. And as soon as she replied to this, it actually cancels this automation. Contact reply, add tag, conversation, and the automation. So if they say, hey, don't talk to me, F off, or hey, yes, I want to meet with you right now, they're not going to receive the rest of all of these follow-ups, because then that starts making you look weird, right? Like, I'm already talking to you. Why are you texting me about like we should meet again? Like, no, that doesn't make sense. So be sure to use if and and functions when creating these different automations, especially on conversations. We're not going to go through all of this. We got 10 more minutes here. I'm more than happy to stay longer if you guys do want to hang out a bit longer. But one thing that GoHighLevel does really well, and what's really cool, is you actually have the ability to voicemail drop as well. So instead of picking up the phone and being reliant, hey, you need to call this person right now because it's part of the sequence, I might be busy doing some stuff, right? So it's not ideal doing a voicemail drop, but they get to hear your voice. They get to know that, yes, you are a real human at the end of the day, that you're not a robot or something like this. You won't be able to hear it, but I've recorded 3 different voicemails throughout this, or was it 2? Yeah, here's the second. I think the third one's a bit further down. Throughout this kind of follow-up sequence. And you want to keep the sequence going for quite a while, because you never know when people want to respond or when they're ready to kind of have a meeting with you or even have a conversation. So the most important thing to remember with these follow-ups is you're not looking to sell them anything right now. We're just simply looking to start a conversation, right? Are you still thinking about selling or just exploring ideas right now? So keep the ask super simple. I've got a few minutes to talk. Sometimes curiosity, other times part of the bigger plan, right? We're kind of leading a bit more like, hey, what's going on? Let's just chat. That's all we're looking to do. We're not saying, hey, let me put your house on the market tomorrow. Like, you need to sell it fast. Like, forget cash offers. Now you're going against everything that you were actually building that trust on, right? You want to be an advisor in all of these different follow-ups through it. And also, let me check down here a little bit. Usually what I like to do, I didn't do in this one, is down here, as if you come to the end of this text message, text 9, I like to add a new tag if you have a long nurture, right? If they've been reading your emails and they haven't said like, screw off, I don't want to talk to you ever again or anything like this, add them to your long nurture. Send them an email every single month, right? About something valuable about the home process. Send them an article on how to get your house ready to sell. Send them some of your other lead magnets, right? So what's the best way to get your house ready? Top 5 tips that home sellers are missing out in today's market, right? You already have their information. Now we want to love on them even more and provide them more and more value. Because clearly while you were following up with them and over the past 14, 20, I think this one run 20 days, they weren't ready to have a conversation. But if you've been giving them more and more value and they see your expertise and that you've actually been communicating, following up with them, when it is time, they're going to be calling you, right? Like that's what we're looking to increase, is the increase of them reaching back out to you to talk about their home ownership situation. So this is the first pass to get the conversation started, and then add them further down here, add them to that long nurture. So we're always dripping on them. One thing I also want to show you guys is the way that I like to do prospecting opportunities is also using the tag system, but you tag them so simply A, B, C, and D. So you can tag them these different things, right? So here I tag myself, and A to me means that they're ready to go. They're going to buy a house in the next 30 days. B is 30 days or 1 month to 3 months to 3 months. They're ready to have a conversation and begin buying a house. C is 3 months to 6 months. And then D is kind of 6 months and a year and plus. So you can add as many as you want, kind of that sequence, but after a year, push them out. What's really good about this, which I have kind of set up, is I might not be working on this one, but typically here you can filter by last activity date. So what I like to do here, you can see filtered by, last activity more than 14 days ago, right? So the tag is B. I want to follow up with them every 2 weeks, right? And that could be simply following up. That could be sending a lead magnet. But following up to me means like making a phone call or sending them a text message. If the activity is more than 14 days ago or less than 14 days ago, they won't be here on your list. So the idea is every single day, clear out your list, because if you don't have anyone in these different lists, you've talked to them, right? You're good to go. You've already handled that communication. But as soon as that activity goes over 14 days in the system, they pop back up on this list. So it's automatically creating your call list for the day. And you can see, okay, they're in the B log. They're going to be 1 to 3 months. They're here. I need to make a phone call and say the house down the road sold for this much. Just want to keep you guys in the loop on everything. Right. So you can use GoHighLevel to create these automated follow-ups on your prospects. The way that I like to do this is I add them to these lists and I start categorizing them as soon as I've had a conversation, a meaningful, a valuable conversation with them. So this could be just, for example, like the Bonnie who I spoke with. We had a conversation. I added her to this list. So then I followed up week and week going forward, because she's going to list her house in a month and I want to be the person she's going to talk to. But if I hadn't had a conversation with them, I leave them alone. I let the campaigns and everything do the drifts for me. And I can run through the list and make phone calls to those lists just so they can kind of see and kind of try to connect with them. But if I don't have time for that, I don't have time for that. It's much more important to prospect and really work these people here in these different prospecting lists instead of the lead list itself. Does anyone have questions kind of about setting up and structuring just some small little smart lists in your CRM? Sweet. Opportunities are also a great way to do this. Very similar, right? So they're very much the same, but at this point, you've identified them as opportunities. So you can put them as ice buyer, right? Cold buyer, warm, hot. But at this point, you've identified and talked to them so much that you don't want to treat them as a prospect. You want to have a little bit closer view with them, right? So these people, I'm going to call every single time it's appropriate. I'm going to invite them to my events and my parties and everything like this. So you kind of get to push them down here. So you have your prospecting list, and then you have your opportunity list living in this pipeline area. Okay, I know we're kind of going towards the end here. We talked about long nurture, templates. Use templates, but really customize them as much as you can to the person. I'm not going to go into the stuff that Nate is doing, because there is really interesting ways of using AI to really personalize every single outreach, which is crazy because they can research the person on LinkedIn and like connect all of these different things. That can kind of be the next step, but create the ideal way of communicating with the people, and then make sure that that's hitting everyone, that everyone's being pushed down the ideal way that you want to work with people. CRM pipeline and lead routing, we talked about that. The prospecting stages, we talked about that, as well as the opportunity stages. And that's all I have. I think we hit that almost right on time there. Does anyone have any questions? or any scenarios or situations you guys want to talk through. Let me ask you guys a question then. What type of pipeline are you guys looking to get set up next week? Freddie, do you have any ideas? Do you want to contact buyers?
Yeah, I think buyers would be good.
What type of offer would you give them?
I'd say that guide.
The buyer's guide?
Yeah.
Yeah. So one thing, create the buyer's guide as a lead magnet, I would recommend, because now you know it through and through. And then you can also offer that as a webinar, right? Super simple and easy to be able to offer as a webinar, and then have that, hey, I also have it in written format if you do want to talk through it all in that sense. So I'm going to quickly put an email in the chat here. If you guys want to get in touch, feel free to email me, connect. If you guys are looking to build any funnels or currently are building any funnels, I'm all ears. I love talking about this stuff.
Yeah, and one thing too on that, Evan, like Jared had brought up that, because I have not been using, on the partner level at Blue Pebble, I have not been using Gem or any of the, creative people that we already pay for, right? On that. But we can utilize them. You do the research, and you can just go ahead and send it over in a Word doc PDF and ask them to pretty it up a little bit and send it back to you. Create a PDF from it. Run it through even Canva if you wanted to, and now you have an art doc that you can download as a PDF. Those are really important. The way you share them is real simple. You put them right on your drive, create a public link, and there you go. There's your value add that you can do inside of these. But yeah, really, really powerful stuff. If you use what Evan's talking about, man, really powerful stuff. And it doesn't have to break the bank, Evan, right? I mean, on Facebook, you can put out a landing page with a quick little video for, I think it's $5 a day. I ended up getting 2,500 views with $5, right?
Incredible.
Yeah. So at that point, and like he said, if you're really narrowing it down and hitting the bullseye on that exact person you're aiming for, and if you think of it as a dartboard, if you're terrible at darts, but you just hit the dartboard every now and then, you don't have to hit that bullseye. You're hitting a message that's going to resonate with people that are close to that bullseye, right?
Yeah.
But in the past with marketing, I'm guilty of it. You feel like you need to market to the entire state of Colorado, or shoot, in my case, I've even marketed to the entire Northern Hemisphere before, And so, but yeah, if you do it that way, you have your value add that's right on your Google Drive, and you have it connected to GHL, which is automatically taking all of those leads and putting them into your database. All of the hard work is done for you at that point, and it's a set and forget system that will last for the rest of your career, or as long as you're with Blue Pebble and you're using GHL, right?
Yeah, 100%. Really leverage our VA team. I can't stress this enough. Like that landing page, I told Jamar, hey, we need to create a seller guide landing page. You've learned about landing pages in the past, do some more research on it, make it the most optimized as you can. That's kind of all I told him. And he came up with that. And we worked a little bit more on it together, but really leverage them in your processes, whatever it is. Reach out to them. They create our social graphics and all of these amazing things, but they can do so much more. Like they're your marketing team, so use them as such.
Pretty cool, man. Really cool. But yeah, powerful stuff. It's this. I don't want to say that it will replace door knocking, right, and personal conversations, but it will start those personal conversations. And so use it.
Give me one quick second. Let me show you guys something. You brought up door knocking. This system works for that too, right? Yep. So why not just lead it directly to that same landing page to have it fall into the same funnel? So this is what I'm doing right now. I'm walking the neighborhoods. I'm running ads on social media, creating content, but then also just walking the neighborhoods and handing this over. So you can still combine the traditional methods of lead generation, but you need the system on the back end because it can get too much and no one can keep up with all of it. But if you have systems in place, you all of a sudden can, and you can start focusing on the conversations and opportunities.
You nailed it, bro. And you know, GoHighLevel is big, dude. You can create your own. You can create QR codes right in GoHighLevel, right?
Mm-hmm.
You go directly to those landing pages. I do it on my business cards, right?
Yeah.
And you know, that's just a digital business card that's tied to my GHL. But at the same time, you can have 3 or 4 different types of business cards in your wallet. They don't know which one you're sending them and be like, oh, just click the QR code. And as soon as they click the QR code, they're actually signing in to get your information, thinking it's going to download automatically to their phone, which it will. But now you've got their contact information without
Right.
them going home and forgetting about this in their laundry, and it screws up all of their shirts. And that's what happens to me. So
I love it. Yeah, we got to take the physical world and get them into our systems, getting into our database. Because if they're not there, personally, I start forgetting about it.
good stuff, man.
Thank you. Yeah, so the information's in there for everyone. If you guys do want to chat, let me know. I love this stuff. All right, that's all I got for you. If you guys don't have any questions, I think we kind of leave it at that.
All right.
Thanks,
Well, Evan, thanks, man.
Yep. Absolutely. Talk to you soon. Bye.